What are we going to do? Oh, no. What do you want me to talk about?
Hey, it's Melanie Petro and Jen, and we are going to do some backing up of that camera. We're going to do some makeup, and Jen's going to show y'all because she's awesome at it, and we don't show it enough. And now this, but so we decided we would do some.
Yeah.
Jen can basically make anybody look good, no matter how they start out looking, and that is her gift, her one of the many gifts. I know, I'm not a blogger. Can you tell? I'm trying to make it where you can see that, and it doesn't go. So, it's supposed to zoom back. I think that's probably the best angle. What do you think?
I think that'd be good for me.
So I'm going to tell our Instagram people that this is what we are doing. Because she's really good at makeup, and a lot of people really aren't. And a lot of people don't realize the difference makeup can make. Okay, so we are live on YouTube, and Jen is about to do a makeup tutorial. She's literally starting from scratch. So head to our YouTube channel if you want to watch. I don't know what our YouTube channel is.
So look at Dr. Melanie Petro. Find it.
Okay. So we are new with YouTube. We thought it was hard, but it's really not hard. It's just that we use Mac. Tish, do you want to film on? Tish just came in at the perfect time.
Oh, lovely.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You get that to stay there.
You don't know how what?
You got that to stay on there. Y'all should see the camera, but it gets pretty impressive.
The double barrel.
Start with some primer.
Barrel. So this is eyelash primer. I remember when Jen taught me this. Tish, have you ever used eyelash primer?
So, what?
Come here. You're part of this.
This is my favorite eyeshadow primer ever. I've been using it for years. I used to try to branch out and just wasted so much.
I know that feeling. That's the thing about Jen. She doesn't tell you every day you need something different. And I've been using this since you taught me. Have you ever used it, Tish?
No. It's really good because it's matte. It comes in different colors, but it's,
Don't try the glitter ones.
yeah. Unless you're just gonna they're great for like a lake day where you just want to slap it on your eyelid and go. Give you some shimmer because they're waterproof and all, but
They're sticky.
and they don't work good under their shadows. They kind of mess them up.
And then it stays in your brush. If you don't clean your brushes, it's awful.
True.
So Jen does makeup. She does lots of Halloween stuff.
Very fun.
But she's a very good teacher. So I think y'all can see okay. Christina's going to do questions while we did it to make it go. And I can't tell what anybody can see. Is it okay?
I think so. It's zoomed out.
I don't know how to zoom it in. You're supposed to zoom. I can move it. That's probably better. I like it further away because you can't see all my problems. Oh, I hate that angle. I'm closing my eyes. Maybe the first time I kept them closed. So what do you just tell them what you're doing?
Okay. I'm going to start by going in with just a little kind of buffer color. It's an in-between. This is the brown I'm using. It's just a real nice, soft, middle of the road kind of color to just get our crease started with. So I'm just taking a real fluffy brush and going in on the corner first in case you've got too much on your brush. That's a great place to start so you don't end up with a blob somewhere. And just going in little circles to get it real airbrushed in.
I think you flick it too.
Yeah, I just kind of flick my brush before I start just in case there's a whole bunch of extra powder on there that you don't really need. Kind of helps with the fallout so you get less on your face in the process. And a fluffy brush like this will help get that real airbrushed look to your eyeshadow instead of like a little stripe of color in there or anything like that. This is the MAC 217 brush. It's my favorite. A lot of people also use one that's a little bit bigger and fluffier. The bigger and fluffier, the more sheer the shadow will go on. And if it's a little bit tighter, it will go on with a little bit more pigment to it. Mostly you're wanting to go with your eye space. So this is typically my very favorite for that.
Okay, I added our Facebook users if you're not on YouTube. It's a little bit clearer on YouTube, but I can't. Anyway.
So after I get her crease started, I'm going to go into the corner with just a real tiny brush.
So if you're on Facebook and you want to see better, our YouTube channel is a little bit easier to.
Yeah. I've never had any trouble finding it if you just search Dr. Petro, Dr. Melanie Petro. I'm kind of just forming a little triangle on the outside, basically, with the darker color, just letting it fade as I go in. So the concentration is out on the corner, and then just kind of buffing it into this little outer triangle. And then going back with that fluffy brush and just circling over it to blend it in. The trick with makeup is just blending, because you've got to spin over it until it looks real pretty and buffed in, because it's no fun if it just looks like little stripes or
Ashley,
blobs.
she is great. I think you can see better that way than this way, but I can, I didn't mean to. I'm sorry.
Just putting a little really bone color on her brow right now. It's just going to help blend, give it a little highlight pop and blend into the other colors we got going on. So I like to be careful there without getting too frosty or anything, because it looks to me like old 90s club look or something. Like, I hate
what's wrong with 90s and club.
I know everything 90s is back too, but let's just be careful on this, because in the 90s they also did like a dark lip liner with like a frosty looking lipstick in the middle. Like, horrible. Some things can come back. They just need to take their current twist to it.
So we got a new skincare today. We have some of our favorite Instagrammers trying it, and they'll be posting. It's called Lumavive.
I'm so excited to see how it
Jen's
goes.
great at makeup, so I think today we did that. I think we should probably we're going to take 5 people and do a makeup lesson.
Sure. I think it'd be fun.
We just do it live, and a lot of putting on your makeup has to do with pigment.
Yes, like
That is
where
so pretty. What is that?
this is called tan. It's a pigment from MAC, and it's so pretty. I think where we intersect really well is that makeup can help you with a lot of things you don't like about your skin or to bring out your features, but at the same time, makeup's not going to cover up anything. You've got to have good texture to your skin. You've got to have good pigment, and that's where it all goes hand in hand. You can't have one without the other. Even microneedling or anything like that, it kind of helps your makeup go on smoother and it all look prettier. This is where I like to add shimmer if I'm going to add shimmer, because it adds a little pop without making, if you use all shimmers, then you end up looking sweaty or gross, or they end up just kind of blending together. So
That's what happens.
if you use one on your lid and one in your crease and one everywhere, they just they don't stay put as well as if you mix the matte colors in. So I like to put shimmers on the
It's supposed to zoom, but I don't know how to zoom the camera. There's got to be a way. Does anybody know? I say what my son would know.
It's okay. This is that video we'll look back on one day and go, huh? Remember back then? There's always got to be one of those.
That's true. I just wish I. Hi.
Did it do it, or you're just zooming in the internet?
No.
Are you sure? Because the whole bar went away.
Try. Hey, I'm sorry. I'm making a video right now. Do you need something? Last night you told me the time was 2 hours later.
Was 2 hours earlier?
I guess because you didn't want to call me when you got in. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because it was 2 hours later where you are.
Oh, I thought you were trying to trick me.
I would be calling you at 2 in the morning. I haven't called back.
Oh, well, just this once, it's my fault. God, I was really wrong. It's the first time for everything. Well, I've got to go. So I said, call me when you get in. He's in Vegas. And he said, well, it's 2 hours later. So this morning I thought, gosh, I must be wrong about the time change. It's 2 hours later. So I called him at 6. He was like, it's 4 in the morning. So I thought he told me it was 2 hours later just to get out of the call me when he got home. But he meant 2 hours later for me.
So he's trying to help you out.
That's like the first thoughtful human I've ever known. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to make y'all go to YouTube. I will tell you I love YouTube. And I watch it all the time. I watch all these women and they're just amazing. Just amazing. And they give me so much confidence and make me feel so good that I made my son watch it. And he was like, parenting via YouTube, good one, Mom. But I thought, why am I not on here? Because I search more YouTube, everything, how to be confident, how to make your child do better in math. And it said, get these boards. And I watched it. And that's what I did. I'm trying to pull up our.
What I did. I'm trying to pull up what I did.
It just kind of zoomed. I don't understand. I know it zooms. That's why I got it. Well, first, I'm going to tell you that story. Best Buy is currently remodeling, and it's probably best not to go. So.
Is everything a mess?
Yeah, they couldn't find it. The 4K one on it. So tell them what you're doing. It's important.
I am just taking some concealer to buff underneath. Now that I've dumped the majority of her eyeshadow, go ahead and brighten up under the eye with some concealer. I'll tell you this one because it's mine. I've also stuck with this concealer for like years and years.
I know I'm not supposed to move it, but I'm not famous and this is not that good. I want to show it. Okay. Can you see it? I have a steady hand.
This is the Pro Longwear Concealer from MAC. And I love it because it's liquidy, but it's got a lot of coverage. So whereas some of the creamy ones can get kind of bulky and then end up getting creased up and stuff under your eye, this one stays real smooth and nice.
Well,
But still gives you the coverage. So
I can't because nobody's gonna like it. And I'm gonna all these nasty comments about how I moved it. I'm balancing this on top of a vase, y'all.
yeah, everybody give us some grace. This is our we're getting started here and we're just having fun live.
That's how we start with everything.
Yep. Just setting it with the mineral powder. And she already has makeup on her face. So I'm gonna.
I didn't put makeup.
She just woke up this way.
I'm just kidding. I wouldn't lie. But I do get tired of those makeup tutorials and you try to watch them. Tell me if y'all done this and they like skip 8 steps and they look so much better. But then they go too fast. They're like, go ahead and make your triangle. No, I don't know.
just add some little mineral powder. I love these because they're light, but they're really fine usually. So they just give you a really nice finish to your skin as opposed to a real more bulky powder or something like
And
that.
I've never seen anybody as good as Jen on these videos. And I watch when I'm not watching How to Be a Parent.
All right, I'm gonna do a little bit of contour. You'll be able to see it better on the other side, but this is, you've always got a hand that's easier, and that's where you usually start, so you feel better about yourself, and that's this hand,
Which hand is that?
my left.
I always want that one. Are you left-handed?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I guess I'll still have my brush in this hand over there, but for some reason, this is there's always a side that's more comfortable, and all right, now I'll explain it on this other side where you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to start back by the ear so that it goes a contour. You never want it to see where it starts. So you want it to disappear
That's
like it's
key.
a natural, like it's a natural shadow. And you're just kind of going underneath that cheekbone. Whereas like, sorry, just the brush. Whereas on your cheekbone, more on the apple is where you put your blush. You're going to go right underneath that with your contour. And you want to keep the bulk of it back here again, because up here you don't want a bunch of messy brown. You want it to be the faded out version. And let's go back over to make sure it's good and buffed in. Don't let it sink too far down in your face either, or it'll do the same thing. It'll start looking muddy. If it just stays right there in that
Sorry.
little nook,
We're on live chat.
it will give that illusion of nice cheekbones, and then we can go back and add our blush on top of it, and we're just going to meet it. So I kind of start again towards the back and kind of blend it forward and backwards to where it blends into the contour color. The idea is not to look like you've got a bunch of different things on your face, but that you just got one awesome cheek. I mean, two awesome cheeks, but
I have cheek implants, and sometimes you can see the edge of them, and sometimes you can't. What's that commercial nice? Sometimes you feel like a nut. Anyway. But on this one, we did, sometimes you can see the edge, which is why I don't use a lot of permanent implants. I like it better with filler, because fillers last a long time and your face isn't permanent. So as my face falls around the implant, I think Jen was probably the first to tell me to add a little bit of filler around it. But with chin implants, it's a great combination is cheeks and makeup. We should almost do that.
I love a good sculpted cheek. I think it's
Why
my
don't we do
favorite
that
part.
as our thing? We'll do, so we'll post that contest. Where you going to post it? Instagram?
Yeah, Instagram.
We'll think of that today. Now, this is really hard to do. She makes it look easy, but it's not.
It makes all the difference in the world, though. So it's worth practicing, getting your brow situated. You can start out like I'm using a powder with an angled brush
I
today.
hate when you go down. It reminds me that my brow is down.
It looks good though. So sometimes a lot of brows, even if you just give them a little bit of a fluff, it makes a huge difference.
Especially that one, because I took some of it out with the dermaplane.
There's none of us that are perfect, and they'll never be perfectly the same either. If you try to get them to match 100%, you're going to make a fool out of yourself. So they
Now
are
you see why Jen
sisters.
and I get along. Easy, will you get the big one? You'll have to put the card in it. I wish we knew. Somebody needs to Google how to zoom this camera. But I think when you look at somebody straight on, I don't think you can tell what they're doing. And I've noticed that in a lot of the makeup tutorials that I've seen. And I've seen a lot.
So the trick with brows is if you lined up a like a pencil from the edge of your nose to the corner of your eye, that's where you want them to start. And then to the outside corner, that's where you want them to end from your nose. So where we nicked this one with a different plain blade, we're going to try to buff in just a little bit more color to bring it a little bit closer.
You tell them maybe it's a help. It's tricky. Can I just take this out? I love that you're being careful.
You don't want to break it.
Oh my God, I love this song.
Sorry that you guys don't know what this song is.
Taylor Swift. Speaking of the 90s, don't let me go there.
All right, and I've gone in a really weird order. I just kind of do my own thing, and it's okay to do that. So I'm going to go back and do
Very
some
talented
eyeliner.
people always do their own thing.
I always just do it the way I see
I
it.
don't know how to fix the angle.
It's okay. Very good quality. You can zoom in. So I'm going to take this eyeliner. It's a gel, like a gel cream type of texture. And I like these tiny brushes with it because as your brush ages, you can just kind of twist all the hairs back together into it. Make sure you can see what it is. So it's just a
As long as
teeny
you
tiny little
clean it,
brush.
that's-
Yes. Keep it clean or else it'll just, as it gets makeup in it, it'll just get too wide to get a good line. So this one,
And it'll hurt.
yeah, because it'll be so stiff. And so I'm just kind of working it into a line. And the goal is to really color on the top of your lashes. It makes them look thicker as long as there's no, light. If you have lighter hair and your lashes are light and you leave that uncovered, it looks so silly. And make sure your liner goes all the way to your lash line. And then you can thicken it up from there the way you want it to look. Some people like to leave it alone and keep it real tiny. This product's nice for people who kind of want the look of a liquid liner but are scared of it. Because you do have to be a lot more careful and precise with the liquid liner because they can go crazy. But this will still be waterproof. It'll still have that real good line to it, but you've got some playtime. I guess it's not going to go everywhere.
This live chat, is that a MAC brush?
It is.
Right.
This is number 210. Yeah, y'all comment with any questions you have. If I'm missing something or not saying it, we're happy to answer.
I know. I don't know like that. Okay, we can do it. Over here. Yes. Hi.
We're just having fun. We're having fun. All right, she's got some lash extensions in, so we're just going to hit the tops of them just a little bit with a special mascara that's good for them. Mostly because shadow will get on them and take the black away. I guess we're gonna add some, are we? So I like to make false lashes the last step, especially when you're doing on yourself. It's a little more forgiving if you've already got some liner on there.
Tell them the trick to
So-
lashes.
So first, I'm gonna measure
It's a
them.
big deal because she didn't tell me this for how long.
I don't know.
It was a minute.
It was.
It really was. And then I said, how do you do it? And she said, well, don't just put it on there wet, like let it dry. And I was like,
At first, I measured them to make sure that they're a good length for your eye. Because most people can't, some people can, most people can't just stick the whole lash on and it fit all the way across comfortably. Because if it's poking in the inside too much, or if it hangs off the outside, it's gonna feel uncomfortable. You're gonna mess with it. It's gonna end up falling off. So I just trimmed
especially
off a little
or
chunk.
like right in the middle is where mine would do it. But
Yeah,
I think the
that's
best thing
super
I ever
uncomfortable.
learned is waiting to.
Yeah. So when you go to get them ready, I just put a little, this is the glue I love, the Duo. And you just kind of drag it across the lash strip to get just a little,
Can I show that?
just tiny bit of glue.
That's-
You have a good background for it.
What color? Assume that's matte. Could you do a video on it? Oh, yeah, sure. So somebody wants to know what about the neck, and we never realize how bad your neck looks until you're looking down, and I look down all the time. So I was going to show her the lasers that we use for the neck. So I'd be
Cool.
happy to show you.
Yeah. So I'm giving it a minute. Obviously, a second.
That is important.
This is the trick. If you let the glue dry for a second, it gets sticky as opposed to just being wet. So when you go to put it on your eye, it'll kind of stay where you want to put it as opposed to just sliding around and hoping for the best. And then you get glue everywhere and then it doesn't stick because it's not on the lash anymore. It's the whole thing. So just do yourself a favor, let it dry for a second. Especially the bigger the lash you use, the bigger the band, the more glue you need. I'll sometimes glue them, put them down on the counter, go brush my teeth, go do everything else in the world, and come back and then glue them on because it's still wet. All right. Then this takes patience for yourself. So, don't judge about how fast this is going to go on, but you're wanting to get it as close to the lash line as possible without gluing it to your actual lashes because then you'll pull them all out and you take them off. But you should be able to just set it down at the base of your lashes and should be good to go. You're wanting to, especially when you're doing your own, the trick is going to be not to squint into a mirror or you'll crinkle up your eyelid. And so then when you let go, they'll pop off. You either want to put a mirror down on your counter and look down, or if you can tuck your head back. Yeah. Or if you can just turn your head back and look in the mirror to where your eyelid is straight. So that way it's in a natural state as opposed to everything popping off whenever you relax.
Really is amazing because it looks so much better. I wish I knew how to zoom you, Mr. Logitech. Said it was so easy. There's got to be a button. Oh. Easy, I need a charger.
Okay.
It's kind of like, it reminds me of gas. Like, it's so easy to run out. I wonder where it is. There's got to be a way. you know?
But yeah, it's probably easier than we think and just can't find it.
Let me check YouTube.
Freaking Janice slider.
I have a slider. Sorry. Well, that's better. I didn't know we could do that. It says click and drag the slider.
Click and join should be on the computer.
Is that it? Where is that? I don't see it. Do you?
Mm-mm.
I'll find it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Powerful camera, isn't
Mm-hmm.
it? BC just said that's perfect without a picture.
Mm-hmm.
It really, that one much.
Mhm.
You ain't good at it. I like it.
Part of the game is watching her. I don't see a slider. I understand what you're saying, but I didn't know this thing moved like that.
It's helpful.
You didn't see the video I made earlier with it.
Mm-mm.
It was awful.
So one of the benefits in leaving lashes to the end too is when you've already got liner on, if you're not absolutely perfect, you won't see skin between your lashes and your eyeliner,
It's really good point.
which I don't
It's not pretty.
just look at people and judge their makeup often,
Huh.
but I do that. I judge that pretty hard. That drives me nuts if I can see skin between eyeliner and eyelashes.
And I used to get told to smush my lips together, but that's wrong.
Well, like when you're done, yeah, pop them, like smush them instead of rubbing them is better because it keeps it from smearing everywhere. It just kind of blends it.
So we will do, why don't we do cheek? You want to do, let's do cheeks and contouring.
Mhm.
And do lessons in that. We can do,
Mm-hmm.
be pretty cool.
Filler
We can almost have a contest. Like I can do one side and then you can have the makeup. It makes a huge difference. And that would be a great
Huge.
way to show it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I can't wait to see Beezy's pictures.
They're perfect.
And she never has that much confidence. I've never heard you say that's perfect,
Well,
especially with pictures. Because we usually know who took the pictures.
I'm figuring out this camera. I'm gonna good at it.
It's a good camera. Having the right tools definitely helps, as you can tell by Jen's tools. Well, it takes a lot. And the brushes are key, and she's amazing. So we will see y'all soon. So why don't we take